Hey everybody, this is Halstead and Andrew McMillan with REH CPA. Today we want to talk about how to make your small business more profitable. A lot of our small business owners will get that question from them. I got Andrew McMillan here with me today. Andrew, what can you tell a small business owner about how to make their business more profitable?
Well, there's a lot of different ways to look at profitability, but you can pretty much always start in two areas. And we're going to look at what your expenses are, what you're spending money on, and then how much are you charging for that product. That's really what it's going to come down to. So first, you want to understand your expenses. We can dive deeper into fixed and variable costs, but like, what are you spending money on? Is there any wasteful spending? Where you're putting that money, is it truly producing the outcome that you're hoping that it is producing? You really want to go through your expenses and just see what you're spending that money on. If you're going to start cutting some expenses in some areas, that's one way to kind of increase some profitability, but you also want to make sure that you're never, cutting expenses at the expense of quality. That's just another thing that I always want small business owners to keep their mind on is, you still want to have a high quality product, and you don't want to lose sight of that in trying to, get rid of your costs. But that's really the first place I like to start with clients, is just going through, what their expenses are, where they're spending their money. Is there any wasteful spending? Are we utilizing technology to the best of our ability to make you more efficient? There's always a lot of new ways to do things, and embracing technology has been a proven factor for many small business owners that helps them become more profitable, because now it got rid of an expense that they used to have. Mm-hmm. So managing those costs is really step one, in my opinion, as far as trying to increase your profitability. Which kind of segues into the next one, which I say is understanding what your revenues are, how much you're charging, because if you know what your costs are, what it costs you to produce that product or that service, that takes away an unknown. That helps you determine how much it costs you to create this product or service, and then from there, you can build your price off of that, so where you know how much you have to charge. So sometimes clients are always worried on what their service charge is, like if they're doing a service, how much they're charging for that, or how much they're selling a product for, because they know, well, somebody down the street is doing it for this or that. That's all well and good. You need to know what your market is, what you think you can get, but you also need to know what your costs are, because those are going to drive what that price is. If you want a 10% gross profit margin, well, then you need to increase, you know what that sales price needs to be able to achieve that. Right. So understanding what your pricing is and making sure you're pricing that accurately is a big driver in profitability.
And one of the things that I preach to our small business owners is understanding when to raise your prices. Mm-hmm. Of course, don't price yourself out of a market. Understand your market, but also understand that costs go up every year. And if you don't raise your prices, you're going to have what's called margin erosion. You're going to be making less money, because costs are going to go up every year, and you need to make sure and stay in line with the costs whenever you're pricing your services, so that way you have enough margin to stay afloat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. That's a really good point about rising costs and inflation and everything. So we, I feel like we try to take a somewhat simplistic approach to it, at least in the very beginning, and try to help business owners get pointed down the right path. But
another key to it is just having a really good accounting system, so that way you can do cost comparisons month over month, year over year, to see where your prices are increasing, seeing where sometimes business owners aren't aware that some costs are getting out of control, and they look at it and say, wow, I really don't need that.
Right.
So they can bring that down, or they start looking at, like credit card fees. Mm-hmm. They think, wow, credit card fees are really getting high. Maybe I should get somebody to quote that, take that out to market and see if somebody can do that cheaper. Mm-hmm. So having a really good accounting system is very helpful in increasing profitability.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it helps you even understand, what customers you have that are profitable. You may see that top line revenue number coming in, but you need to understand, well, how much am I doing to produce that revenue? Am I not making profit on this client because I have too much time in this client, or I have too much work in something? Everybody's business is a little bit differently, but understand what your profitable clients are, for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Well, that's really good information, Andrew. If you are a small business owner and you have questions on how to become more profitable, feel free to give us a call. Thanks.